household items that will change hydrangea colors. What's the myth? What are some of the things that are being tossed around to use, and what is reality? So take it away.
I love talking about this because I was on an extension site. Anybody that works in gardenings and especially around a lot of hydrangeas and especially in marketing, we're going to be on other people's extension sites because that's where a lot of really useful information is given to people about hydrangeas. But on this site, they were really trying to combat all of these people that were coming on there and saying that they could change their hydrangea by adding all of these wild things to the base of the plant, things that I honestly could kill your plant. You can't put, they were saying, oh, I dump a gallon of orange juice on my plant every spring because they think, well, orange juice is acidic, right? So it's going to turn your plant. No, don't put orange juice on there. Don't put rusty nails in there. And if you do, please wear leather gardening gloves so you don't get tetanus when you scratch yourself with it. A penny ball won't work. A penny ball would be pretty under there, but pennies won't change the soil. You can put coffee grounds or eggshells down there if you want. It might add a little something to your soil, but it's not going to change the color of your hydrangea. It just isn't enough acid to change the color of your hydrangea. You need to get the proper items from your garden center. So what you want is acidic soil, but what you ought to do first is get a soil test and find out just what is the pH of your soil. We want the pH to be 5.5 or less to get a blue hydrangea. And once you have that acidic soil, then you add aluminum. If you don't have the acidic soil, the aluminum can't uptake into the plant and turn your plant blue. So there's a couple steps in making sure that your plant's going to turn blue. Yeah, but those are some of the crazy things. I mean, one thing that was wild was somebody said, my neighbor's little boys would come over and pee on my plant once a week, and that would turn it blue. And I'm like, no, that is not what is doing it. That is not what is doing it, and they need to be introduced to a bathroom. So those were some of the wilder items that I've heard.
Georgia or Ryan, do you have any other wild stories about what people are saying will change their hydrangea color?
No, but I could listen to Natalie's stories all day
I know.
about
Yeah, we don't have any neighbor kid stories, but yeah, we get see that a lot with the nails and the pennies. And maybe if you're like right on that neutral line and they got a ton of eggshells that go in, maybe you'll see a little bit of, but it's not really enough. And that's what soil amendments are for. And there's some really great ones that can be natural and organic, if that's important to you. So I think that it's easier to just go with what is tried and true than try some of these things that you might see on Facebook. Even if you're at a pretty neutral soil level, you're going to get there a lot faster. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to put it down and in a month you're going to see all of a sudden you went from blue to pink. It will take time, especially if you're further away from that neutral pH. But Natalie, I'm glad you brought up the aluminum piece too, because even if you have a lower pH and you have acidic soil, if there's not that presence of aluminum, you're not going to get the blue or purple flowers. And so it's that combination of both that gets you that sort of classic Nantucket look.